You're getting a 2-for-1 deal today. Not just in terms of stories, since Allyson won both polls for Buck Race 4 and Buck Race 5, but also in terms of perspectives, because I'm not alone for this one.
Yay! I'm excited to be here again.
So give us a little intro. Tell us about yourself, how you got into Buck Race.
So really, I just got in the buck race because we had a mutual friend back, I think when I was in 7th grade, and you guys were all in 8th grade, the year above me. And we just started hanging out more. I got more involved in the group, and then I was invited to buck race like my freshman year, and I'm still here.
Still going strong.
Mhm. Going strong.
For context, this was Allyson's first season, which came with her first Final Buck challenge and surviving one elimination challenge. With 75% of the vote for the Buck Race 4 poll and 67% of the vote for the Buck Race 5 poll, these are the stories that you have voted for. You all wanted to hear about Allyson's Buck Race 4 story and Buck Race 5 story. Now, I went through the group chat, and for Allyson moments, I could really only find Buck Race 5 stuff. So you will be seeing that later. Going into Buck Race 4, I seemed to be a big threat for whatever reason, and Cameron was rallying the troops against me. Naturally, Allyson was against me too for that reason. But she held her own in a lot of the challenges, getting close to winning most of them, but not quite beating me or Cameron. That was until Cameron had to drop out of the Buck Race, leaving Allyson and Logan as the anti-Josh movement. Then we get into the finale. One thing I was able to find was the original Google Classroom of the finale of Buck Race 4, or the final few challenges at least. Leading up to the finals, there was a slideshow challenge where I ended up getting partnered with Allyson, which gave me an even bigger shot at winning, since Allyson was the only one who could gather enough points to potentially beat me in the finals after Cameron left, and we made a monstrosity of a slideshow.
The naughty practice. Where you came from? Birds and bees. Mom and dad love each other very much. They don't get under the covers and love each other very much, and they get under the covers and do something called the dirty do. And when this occurs, babies happen. The example for this is the father sticks a funny key into La Mama's engine, and out a child comes from the store. The gas used sends a signal to Stork headquarters with a GPS signal and delivers from Amazon Prime. So
Oh, can
here
you
are
explain the
a couple of
diagram, please?
examples.
Can you please
Huh?
can you explain the
Oh, the
diagram?
diagram. So this is the engine. This is the key, and boom, babe.
Thank you.
Yes. So here we can see some very good examples of books that you should read.
Never heard that book.
And then this is self.
Heard that book?
No. This book right here is very important.
It's amazing.
Everybody should know this book. It should be from your childhood, if anything.
I love that book.
I know it's my favorite. And then this is self-explanatory.
Okay, well, round of applause.
So remember, it was the challenge before the finale where we did the slideshow, that slideshow.
The birds and the bees.
The birds and the bees.
The birds and the bees.
How did we
Such a
come up with that?
classic.
How did we do that?
I think somebody said something like really stupid, like about birds, and then I thought of the bees, and we put two and two together. Like, or no, we were talking about Bernstein Bear books, like how weird the titles were.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Why is mommy moaning?
Where's mommy moaning? The
finale was played in only 2 parts out of the 3. The first part was another slideshow on why Hunter is the superior human being, which I won with this. And the second was the Kahoot challenge, using the same Kahoot that Hunter made for us to always do at lunch. Get digital, bro. Needless to say, that challenge was made for me, and I won, which gave me enough Hunter bucks that I needed to win the season and beat Allyson. And then when we get to the finale, which was the other slideshow about Hunter being the superior human being, and then also the Kahoot challenge, what did you think about those? What was your mindset?
So I don't really remember that too much. It all kind of blends together because it was so long ago to me. But the Cahoots were always fun. I'm pretty sure that was the one I thought was super rigged. It was that Kahoot.
It was the same
The
Kahoot.
slideshow I don't. Huh?
It was the same Kahoot we were using at lunch.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was the Get Digital, bro.
Oh, it was. Yeah.
Allyson was the first newbie player to ever to place in the top 2, and cemented a legacy for herself. Easily a great casting choice to bring back on an All-Star season. The theme of Buck Race 5 was unpredictability, and Hunter really leaned into that.
Hmm.
So what did you think of that? What was your strategy going into it?
So that's when I had the strategy. That was like, because it was so unpredictable. I knew you guys were really going to go at it. And Cameron was really getting into it then. So I was going to let him get all the beating. And usually, like, me and Logan always, like, just stuck together because we're the Miller bros, you know? Like, we're twinsies. So I always knew I could, like, stick with Logan. We would get through the challenges. And that's kind of like, that was, like, my big thing that we would do. Because like Cameron was always after you, I'm pretty sure, or me.
Always.
Always. And that was really it. That was the strategy, backing off, letting you guys do your thing, and then like I'm kind of learning how this is working out, trying to guess what's gonna be next.
After a brief break, Buck Race came back with an all-returnee season. This season included everyone we could get, which was just the Buck Race forecasts, plus Iris. And Iris left pretty quickly. So yeah, Buck Race 4 Part 2. The theme of this Buck Race was unpredictability. For context, this was Allyson's second season, and her second time making it to a final Buck challenge, making it past 2 elimination challenges. In the early game, Allyson stayed quiet, while people like me, okay, just me, were doing way too much. This season was a bit different in dynamics because it wasn't everyone against me anymore. Logan and Allyson were a lot more willing to gang up on both me and Cameron, and this was especially the case after the emoji picking challenge. In this, Allyson picked the pirate flag, which granted her an instant spot in second place, behind Logan, who picked the first place emoji. What was more important to everyone was Cameron's emoji pick, making himself skip out on the next 2 challenges. This was huge. Logan also skipped out on one due to his second emoji pick, meaning the next challenge was literally just me versus Allyson. Although I won that challenge and Logan won the next one, it still allowed Allyson to keep a low profile and let everyone else go after each other. Following Cameron's unfortunate return to competing in challenges, this was really the peak of the rivalry and the moment that allowed Allyson to slide under the radar the most. Thanks to me wasting my advantage from the emoji challenge to put myself in first place, Allyson was able to make a comeback after the last 2 challenges, even winning one of the challenges, the dramatic Mario Kart race.
Allyson received a banana, which she threw in front of her and Logan, causing them to be for first place. Allyson and Logan both had 20 bucks and tied for first.
How many?
20 bucks and tied for first.
And she got up to first place. Of course, with it being the theme of unpredictability, Hunter hit us with a big reveal. That the final Buck Challenge would be a winner-take-all hype video making challenge, with all 4 of the contestants competing, which essentially made the rest of the race kinda useless. And then the last thing we gotta talk about is that the Buck Race 5 finale, the video making challenge, the hype video making challenge.
Didn't I diss Cameron in that? Like, I only
just me and
dissed
Cameron. I don't know if he dissed Logan. Maybe.
Was Logan disqualified? No, Logan was in
No,
it.
Logan was there. I will now show you Allyson's hype video.
Be real, should Cameron really win? The last thing we need is something to boost his ego of, oh, look at me, I put a bunch of random sounds together and make it look really confusing so people think I'm talented. Now that we got that out of the way, let's be honest, I should be the winner of this year's Buck Race finale. Looking back at all the other Buck races, this is the first time I've been in first place, or even stayed in it for that matter. I should be able to take that away from Josh. We just can't keep giving him pity.
I don't really remember what I said about Cameron, honestly.
You said he could just get by on making another music video, another flashy music video.
That's true, though.
And he did. He won.
It was true. I proved my point, though. My point still stands.
Unfortunately for you.
Unfortunately. Could have won. I think the Resnowskis chose wrong, but it be what it be. It was genuinely stolen. I thought I had that in the bag.
Now, this did not win, and the winner was declared as Cameron, with Allyson in the second place spot yet again.
It was a winner take all. He had to make a hype video. It felt rigged. There were only 2 or 3 people voting on the hype video. And of course, the hype video could be whatever. I made some stupid animation. I think Allyson just talked into the camera, and so did Josh. Cameron, though, he makes music. Cameron makes music for a living. How are we going to compete against that? Where did all this energy come from? That last task felt like it was taking the win from the underdogs. And to this day, I still think Allyson should have won that buck race. Shame on you, Cameron. Shame on you. Taking the win from the underdogs. How dare you?
Although she never quite got that win, she's still remembered in Buck Race today with a large fan base who knows her as the Rob's Queen. With that out of the way, we move on to the new era in our next story video in Buck Race Story Videos. I'll see you then. Becco.